I'm having fun with story time. So, welcome to story time with Tasha. This story is gonna be about me getting kicked out of church. I bet y'all said, dang, the friends dumper, the dang on churches kick up to the curb. Y'all, I can't fit in. I swear to God, I don't fit in no where can't nobody deal with me. And I don't even be doing nothing. I don't be doing nothing. So let me tell y'all about this church I had started going to. This ain't been too long ago, neither. I started sitting here saying, maybe I want to go to church to fellowship with other believers or something. You just want to go hear some singing and preaching and be around other like-minded people. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. So the lady who dumped me with the car, right? I had started going to church with her. I had started going to her church. And she goes to a famous football player's father's church, right? Okay, I ain't gonna say who this football player is. So I'm in this church. Their church is being worked on. So they're having church inside of a school. So when I go into the school to sit there, I see signs that I'm supposed to be there. I knew God was going to kick up some. I just didn't know what. All of my signs was there. I'm talking about even my name, my married name, Strong, was up on the wall. Be kind was up on the wall. That's one of my phrases. Like all the stuff that God used to contact me through objects, words, symbols, numbers, colors, because this is how we communicate, were there on the walls, right? So I knew I had to come back. So first of all, I could see they didn't like the way I answered questions, first of all, because they had a candlelight visual, what do you call them, candlelight things for Mother's Day. And they were lighting candles for their passed on loved ones. But when my butt went up there to light the candle, I said, this is not for a passed on loved one, because energy never dies. They're still here. I'm burning this candle as a light to let them know where I'm at. I'm lighting this light as a representation of the light inside of us. Y'all just playing. Yeah, I was lighting the light as, us. Just you being the light. God, you see the light. That was my purpose, right? So let me tell y'all, one day he had a Zoom meeting. Already I had been checking out how he was running his church. I felt like he was a womanizer. I seen how he treat his wife. He don't treat his wife good. And she's smarter than him too. She's brighter than him too. And she's way more intelligent than he is, and he knows it. So he kind of puts his foot in her neck. He say little awful stuff to insult her in front of everybody, and everybody laughs it off. But see, I know energy. I know what you're doing, fool. You really just insulting her because your ass is jealous. You combative and you competitive, and you don't want her to outshine you. So you keep her at a certain level. So she can't be that important because it's all about him. So I already picked up that he had that type of spirit by himself. But I'm just waiting on the bull crowd, because I know God send me in places when they're dirty, when he wants to expose something, right? So we have a Zoom meeting. This pastor says, tonight's lesson is going to be, he said, and this been on my mind all week long, y'all. It been on my mind all week long. He said, I want to know, what would you do if you found out your husband molested a child in the church? Now he used deacon. He didn't say if you was a preacher, if you was a choir director. He said if your husband was the deacon of the church. It was specific, right, to me. I listened to words. He said if they was accused of molesting a child, would you support him? Nobody didn't say nothing. He said, did y'all hear what I said? Didn't nobody say nothing. He said, I want to know, what would y'all do? Would y'all take the deacon's side or would y'all take the child's side? How would you handle that situation? Nobody said anything. Not a peep. So, here I go. Oh my God, here I go, right? My mouth. I know. Shut up, Tasha. You talk too much sometimes. But I feel like I have to protect God people. That's what I'm here for. He said when the evil is being done, speak up. To me, that was evil. So this what my butt said. Pastor, you might want to change the subject because I'm betting you every woman on here has been molested before, including myself. That's what my energy's picking up. And you're asking people to talk about their experience. You ripping band-aids off and you're reopening wounds. This isn't safe and this isn't good. The backlash of bringing up memories like this could hurt somebody. It could literally stick around, and maybe that's what this spirit wants to happen. He said, this my church. I talk about what I want to talk about. You walked in here up off the street. How you gonna tell me what I'm supposed to talk about and what I'm not supposed to talk about? I said, well, Pastor, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your church. Listen, ain't nobody talking. Won't nobody answer you. And evidently, God didn't give you this. You was hanging in hell all week and you brought a hellish topic up. God is not in this. Where is God? This isn't talking about the word of God at all. This is talking about evil. And evil is trying to have Bible study, but there's no Bible. This isn't holy, Pastor. This is evil. So he got smart with me again. So then somebody said something. This one lady, she said, well, Pastor, when I was young and when I was coming up, I was molested. And when I told somebody, they didn't believe me. They believed the man that molested me, and I got abused by all the adults. Y'all, that was my story. That was what I was talking about, because the child is never believed. The child is never protected by the adults. The child becomes the enemy. And the one that committed the crime becomes the hero. The old poor soul. This child doesn't like you and they just want to lie on you. Oh, this a trouble-minded child. This a fast child. This a hot child. This a sexual child. It can never be the nasty motherfucker's fault. It's always the child's fault because the dog find the child attractive. And the dog figure out a way to steal the child's innocence. So, as she said that, she said, nobody believed me. I got abused so bad they believed him. That bastard said, this ain't about you. This ain't personal. Don't put your personal business in here. Tell me that one the devil. Tell me that one the devil. So I said something else, y'all. That motherfucker grabbed his nutsacks on me when I say he went in on me. And then another lady jumped in and said, you don't just come up in here telling us what we can talk about and what we can't talk about. When at first, Her ass wasn't even saying shit because she been down molested too by more than one person in her family. As she was talking that crap to me, I was seeing her life. Oh, she been tossed around in her family. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. This is not the church for me. I'm not trying to tell y'all how to run the church. But I'm going to go. I'm going to remove my presence because this is not of God. This is straight Satan material. This is straight Satan teaching. This is straight Satan talking. And you done lost it. You have lost your fire. You don't even know where you walking into, where you end up at. You been in hell all week and don't even know you been in hell all week. I said, either this is happening in real life in your church and you know about it, or it's happening to somebody that you know and you know about it. So let me excuse myself, because I don't take no abuse from nobody. A person like me, y'all, I'll come back to the church and harass every fucking body. I'll tell them some shit to make them commit their life that night or damn commit suicide that fucking night. They wouldn't be able to think straight or sleep anymore if I unleash me on them. So I let them do what they do because I wasn't invested like that in that damn church. Hell, they was having church in a freaking school because his church was under reconstruction. Listen at the wording. His church was under reconstruction, right? So when he went off, I tried to come off that Zoom, y'all. But me, I don't know how to work the phone that good. But the screen blanked out, so they thought I hung up. Hell, I thought I hung up. They kept talking. Now, everybody talking. One beautiful voice out of that ugliness said, Pastor, I think you ought to call that lady and apologize to her. I think that was so wrong of you, and y'all wonder why we don't have members in our church. She said you wouldn't let the lady talk. You wouldn't hear her out, and she had valid points. That pastor said, I wish I would call her and freaking apologize to her. I'm the pastor of this church. I'm the head of this church. What I look like calling her, apologizing to her? I said, wow. I'm sitting on this phone listening. So while I'm listening, at this pastor just go in on me, and this little old lady just talking shit. Like I ain't like her countenance in the way I felt like. Ain't even had a decent conversation with me. Y'all ain't did nothing to nobody still. You see what I'm saying? But while they was talking, God brought me back to a dream that I had. I dreamed that I was laying on the floor sleeping, and I woke up because I had a snake head in this hand and a snake head in the other hand, and they fangs were stuck in my hand right here. The snakes were yellow, they were identical, and they had candy sprinkles on them, a bunch of candy sprinkles on them. Now, my mama was in the dream. My mama's passed on. See, I see my dead loved ones all the time. She pulled the snake heads out my hand and told me that I was okay. Don't worry about it. They weren't poisonous. That's what she told me. So I let it go. Y'all went back to sleep and dreamed the exact same dream again and had these snake heads right back in my hand. This time my mama pulled them out, and I had knots. I had little knots where the fangs was on both of my hands. And she said, I'm telling you, it's not poison. It's helping you. It's not hurting you. And I would wake up. So all day my hands would hurt all the time where the fangs had went, because I have vivid dreams, right? So come to find out, God revealed to me that he's cutting heads off. All heads are falling from the pandemic up until now, and furthermore, there will be no corrupt heads. Like, we pray for a new earth. We believers pray for a new earth so much and so long. We're there. We're in it. So if you looking next to you and the person is not there anymore, it's because they didn't deserve to go to the new earth. And they might look like they was the best person in the world, and you cannot understand why they died. Well, God judges your heart and your kidneys. So get out of that business. Because what business is it of yours what God does with his souls? Because he is the only one that knows that soul intent. You don't. See. So what happens was God tried to send me back to that church. I said, nuh-uh. No, God, not after all that done happened. And boy, y'all, he said, I'm removing heads. He said, I'm trying to save the bodies. The bodies are salvageable. But I'm tired of people playing with my word. I'm tired of snaky people spilling their venom in my children. They're hurting people that really want me and that's trying to get me. They used to be mine, but they went the other way. And this is a pastor that has done the same, but he can be reconciled. I said, nope, God, you're not doing that. Because I got pride too, y'all. And it's my character and my personality and my face on the line. And I feel like sometimes you don't want to do something and God tell you do something, you ain't got to do it. Don't when you get grown, your mom and daddy tell you do something. If you don't want to do it, you ain't got to do it. I'm like, God, I just had it with this man. What he blind. He's blind, God. What can you say to him? How can I get him to hear me, right? So later on that night, I started looking at TV and Jamie Foxx show came on called Dad Stop Embarrassing Me. And God didn't like Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx had on some clothes that irritated the spirits inside of me. On this episode, his pants was so dang on tight you could see his whole penis print. On this episode, he had these little designer things going around his shirt. Like on his shirt, these little things look like backward sevens or something like that, or sevens. They look weird, these little designs, right? Me, I gotta go back to the church because God said I had to go back, y'all. When I get in the church, tell me why the pastor got on the same shirt Jamie Foxx had on. I couldn't even be hard-headed. Y'all know I'm glad I went because I probably would have got a strike against me, right? So I just sat there because I still didn't get what God wanted me to get. And the man was trying to apologize to me in front of the church. He was like, we got off on the wrong foot. We did. But y'all know how this is. I'm like, yeah, dude, whatever. You ain't sorry. You are not sorry. You threw your nutsack at me like you beat your chest. You disrespected me. Because nobody didn't want to talk about molestation with that devil-ass conversation, right? So I sat there, and I think God just wanted me to go see that shirt so he could see that he got that situation right there. So y'all kept saying, Lord, that man is blind. He's blind. He don't see. So God said, look up his name. Y'all. When I looked up this joker name, tell me why his name mean blind Newtown. I'm going to say it again. This pastor's name is Blind Newtown. Y'all, I laugh my butt out. Tell me God don't got a way of labeling you with who you are. You the fool that don't know the deepness of your name, the deepness of your birthday, the deepness of your countenance. Like God already knew your personality. He already labeled you, right? He know this man was blind. But this man is leading his people to a blind Newtown. Like they got birdbox syndrome. He leading these people to a blind town. He making these people think he got sight and he can see when he blind. His name is blind. He's blind. Remember I told you words got character traits and personality? Well, there you go. His name means blind. He's a person. He walking and talking. He's blind. His name is blind. He is blind. He is what being blind is. He is blindness. And his church is under reconstruction. Y'all, they still trying to fix and build on that church right to this day. And God is going to keep that church under reconstruction until that pastor get it together. But he'll remove that pastor or close the doors completely. That's why y'all think all these churches don't close down. Y'all think it's because of the pandemic. No, baby, it's because the earth is no longer sitting where it used to sit. So every ugly thing is being manifested where it's out in the light. You can no longer hide your dirtiness. You can no longer hide your filthiness. You can no longer hide your scheming and your bribery and your threatening. You can no longer hide that. You know why? Because in the spirit, those things have turned into beings. And with the earth sitting where it is, God can see your beings. He can see your ugliness. He can see everything your ugliness running around here doing. And the ugliness of these churches hurt people. And that's because of that, them churches, some people don't want to have nothing to do with church. They don't want to have nothing to do with God. They're the reason why they turn their back on God, won't have nothing to do with God. Because they trusted the blind new town. They trusted the blind. So God closed the doors so no one can ever enter those doors again. They didn't deserve to be open. They did not deserve to be open ever, ever again. These churches are not coming back. That was the parable of the snake heads. They got all the wisdom and all the knowledge in their minds, in their heads. But they abusing the body. They spreading poisonous venom. And they play. They playing. They putting on a play. That was the sign of the candy sprinkles. They're kitty-like and they're not serious. They're playing church. And this is not the time. That's 3D energy. We're in 4D, 5D. So 3D people getting bumped out because their frequency doesn't get them into 4D, 5D. Respect the game. Because everybody got a chance to get there. Everybody was given a fair opportunity, equal opportunity to get there. All you gotta do is change the way you think. It ain't like God said, go to work, kill yourself, and sacrifice this, sacrifice that. No, he just telling you, give him some thought. Let him be in your thinking. Let him lead and guide your thinking. Let him tell you some things. Let him hold a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's on you. It's on you, boo-boo. If you decide to take the other route, he's not going to force himself on you. So I go by that church and I feel sorry for the people. They be out there playing because they got a little daycare. They got a little after school program. But it ain't no growth. It's no growth. That church is stagnant. And I look at all the yellow paper on the building. I don't know if they can't afford to keep building on it. But I heard the paperwork keep getting hemmed up. I heard all types of stuff been happening. The reason that church is not being completed is because they're under reconstruction. And you're going to do it God's way or no way. But guess what, y'all? His name Blind New Town. And that whole church has got bird box syndrome. They gonna be so disappointed. They gonna be so disappointed when they get to the town. Everybody blind. And the person that been leading them been blind the whole time. He just know how to play it all real good. He hit a Stevie Wonder on their ass. Everybody say Stevie Wonder can see. I seen that damn thing when that mic stand was finna fall. Nobody didn't catch it but him. You had to see that. Your hearing didn't catch up on it, but I don't know. But He done got used to playing it off. And when you sit in his church, he talk about what he did last year. He talk about what other people did. He don't talk about the word because the word ain't there. His soul ain't there. His fire has gone out. But God want to reignite it. But he ain't there. God don't want him to preach. He want his wife to preach. He want his wife to run the church while he go sit in the corner and relearn and regain his respect, because he done lost respect. And pretty soon, if he don't stop messing with his wife like that and won't let his wife kind of like start running things, I'm gonna ride up on that church and it gonna be closed down. They ain't gonna see no little kids out there playing no more, because God ain't gonna let them get to the blind new town. He ain't gonna let them people go to the blind new town. You know what I'm saying? That's the sad part about it. They gonna have to find them another church, and this man's gonna lose all his members. Also, God don't like the way he treat his wife. He treats his wife terribly. He keeps his foot in her neck. I saw it for myself. If she starts speaking intelligent, that nigga say something to insult her so goddamn fast, it'll hurt her feelings. You could tell. She be like, why did he do me like that? She'll just sit down and don't say nothing. And people be like, I'm like, why would you laugh after this motherfucker just insulted her? Why nobody in this church ain't getting on him? I don't care about you being up there. I'll get your ass from the audience. See, I can't fit in nobody's church. I just can't. So if you see me in your church, you better be shaking in your boots. Because that mean you got some hellish shit going on. And God eyes on you. Because everywhere I go, God go. And then when I go somewhere, God wants something cleaned up. Because I'm not allowed to go to dirty places like that. If he send me to a place, he wants it saved. Like he feel that it could be saved, and he give them the opportunity. But Blind Newtown ain't with that. Blind Newtown said, no, y'all going to Birdbox Island. And I look at a couple people, right? One of the dudes be with my hubby, right? And I look at him and I be like, dude, I know you got too much sense to keep going to that church. Do you know people will stay in church out of loyalty, out of friendship? That God ain't got crap to do with it. That's just a meet up place. But I can't figure out why this man keep on going to this church. So when he be talking, I really don't look at him like he's intelligent, because he's being led by Blind Newtown and he headed to Bird Box Island. So if he ain't got enough sense to see that his pastor full of crap, what do that say about him? Because he don't hide it. He don't hide it. So really, you just go to church probably to please his wife or whatever the reason is. But ain't nowhere in the world your spirit is loyal to some crap like that. It got to be a friendship thing. Or it got to be we been going here for so long it just don't matter. Or maybe you getting tired of getting whooped on by other churches, so you're selling it for them. But I can't figure out for the life of me why this intelligent man and his wife go there, and she is the one that spoke up for me. She is the one that told the pastor that he should apologize to me. But maybe God got angels stashed in there. Maybe they could be the good in the church. We're going to look at it like that. Maybe they bring a certain presence in a certain light. Maybe they are God up in there. Maybe that's the only way that church get God, through them two good people. Because they some good people. Oh, God, they some good people. I'm just wondering, though, like, why they following Blind Newtown. Because that whole goddamn church is headed to Bird Box Island. Don't hang in church because you like your pastor and your friends in there. Boy, you gonna suffer. You gonna suffer. It's no longer about God. It's about feelings. Whoa, 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 whoa. Feelings. You don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, so you gonna damage your soul and damn your soul to hell because you too busy being loyal to Blind Newtown. Hope y'all have it going on Blind Island, on Bird Box Island. Y'all have a good night.